Hi, I'm Freak Boy, and welcome to Freak Boy Runs. On my very last of the 6 tempo sessions I'm doing before I launch into my full-fledged 10K training plan that will precede my marathon training plan. This session is 6 by 2 kilometers with 1 kilometer high zone 3, 1 kilometer low zone 3, no rest. It gets a bit tough towards the end here, but I'm just finishing 4th cycle, and what I'll do is pick you guys back up towards the end so I don't tire myself out on my slower part of the rep when I'm supposed to be getting my heart rate down. Okay, cheers. Hi again. Well, I got maybe about 30 seconds left in the faster kilometer of the last cycle, and then just drop down to the slightly slower kilometer at the end here in just a few more seconds, actually. There it is. Okay, I can go a little bit slower. Still have a whole kilometer left though. So I think it's gone pretty well from the standpoint of hitting my heart rate zones. My paces, which I guess to a certain extent to be expected, varied, and particularly on the low zone 3 kilometers towards the end, slow down. Oh, I'm gonna have a shadow if I hold the camera up on that side. Back on this side for a little while. I'm not sure how fast I'm going right now. I'll have to pay attention to the announcement. I can't hold that arm anymore. Here in a second. But this is a tough one. Not because of how hard you have to run, but because there's just no brakes. I've got a little incline here. This little area is always brutal right at the end. Climbing, it's not very big, but it sure feels big at the end of a run. Let's see where I'm at. I still have another half a kilometer to go. Oh. I'm having trouble talking. Just I can't quite get my heart rate down and talk at the same time. So let's just pick it up at the end. Otherwise, you're just watching me suffer. Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah, it was getting kind of tough there at the end. As I was saying, I hit my heart rate zones, I think pretty much as good as I could expect to just high, low, high, low, high, low, and edging it up each cycle until I got right to the top of zone 3, a little bit into zone 4. Again, it's not a super exact science. The difference between the very top of zone 3 and the very bottom of zone 4 is not really all that significant. My paces, they varied. On the high zone 3 faster kilometers, I don't know exactly how long each kilometer took because I get my announcements in miles, but I was doing 7:30 to 7:40 per mile, and then on the lower ones I was doing 7:45 early on, and then closer to 8 minutes per mile pace for the last little bit. Maybe the last 2 I think were like that, but it's all good. It's all about nailing those heart rate zones, and I really feel I did that. Left hamstring tightened up a little bit. The left glute got surprisingly sore. It usually has not been getting that sore recently, so I'm seeing my physio today. I'll have to mention that to him. I'm not sure if he's going to be concerned or not. Anyways, I'm going to put you guys away for the moment and pick you back up on Sunday for what will likely be an abbreviated long run. Cheerio. Here we are, Sunday long run again. And another pretty nice winter day. A little bit windy, so hopefully I'm not getting too much of that onto the microphone of the camera. So that's kind of cooling it off, but that's okay. I'm generating my own heat here. It's all good. So yeah, after my tempo session on Wednesday, I actually had an appointment with the physio, and I actually had asked him if he would do this probably at least 6 weeks ago, and he finally decided it was time for me to get some imaging done. So he ordered an MRI, which I'm going to do on Tuesday. I kind of wish he would have done it a little while back, just because depending on what it says, if he wants me to stop running after he sees it, I would have much rather that have been a few weeks ago and that much further away from the start of my marathon training cycle, which I'm only I guess right around 8 weeks out from that right now. So I don't know. I'm gonna continue training as I would until he has a chance to actually read the MRI and tell me one way or another if he wants me to stop. I was toying with the idea of just cutting back right away, and maybe that would have been the right thing to do. I don't know. I just recently decided I'll wait until he actually tells me that it's time to stop. And hope that I have enough time between then and the start of the marathon training cycle to recover and then get ramped back up. Because when I get to that marathon training cycle, you know, my plan so far has been this grand plan of doing this gradual build of intensity and volume, and then just really hit the ground running at the start of that cycle. And this really would change that completely, because I would be off running for at least, I would imagine, 3 weeks, maybe 4, ahead of the training schedule. So that kind of changes that whole dynamic. But I basically decided I don't want to bail out on my current plan without knowing one way or another from him. I really don't think I have the reason yet to bail out. Hi there. So, just gonna stick with it on the chance that he doesn't tell me I have to stop running. And if or when he does tell me that, then I'm gonna have to decide, do I try to preserve my streaks by just breaking the rules a little bit and running one very easy mile per day, or do I just stop completely? I guess again, that's all going to depend on what he tells me. So it remains to be seen, but my plan is in a bit of danger right now. Although the marathon training plan should still be able to be executed, just possibly not in exactly the same way and at the same level as I was originally expecting. So that's my update on the injury. Yeah, I don't really have much more else to tell you. The next time well, actually, maybe that's not quite true. I was going to say the next time I'm on video, I'll know, but I will have had my MRI, but I won't have yet met with him to discuss it. So we'll see. I think I'll have about a week or so before I meet with him to talk about it, unless I suppose it's really bad, which I don't think it's going to be, and he calls me. Okay, well, that's the update for this week. Not the best news, but it is what it is, and I'm just gonna have to take whatever comes my way and deal with it. So if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button below. Subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Comment and share if you get a wild hair. And until next time on Freak Boy Runs, embrace the misery. Freak Boy